Palworld is officially here, and man, is there a lot in this game for you to be able to do. And if you're like me, you're probably looking for the fastest way to be able to level up so you can experience as much of the game as possible. It's the weekend, right? You don't want to fall behind. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're going to be covering today. The fastest way to level up in Palworld, not only for yourself, but for your pals as well, so you can get to the end game and explore the world and not die all the time. Now, the leveling up process is actually pretty quick, but you kind of feel like you stagnate early in the game until you realize exactly what you need to be doing to level up very quickly. Now, in the previous video, I did show where to get these Vixies, and these Vixies are incredibly important. At first glance, they look like a pretty basic pal, right? They don't look like they're gonna do you very much good, but my god, you're gonna want a little bit of an army of these bad boys because they are extremely useful. Now, what these do is when you put them in one of these pens here, so once you get to, I believe it's like level 5 or something like that. Yeah, level 5, you can unlock the ranch. Now, this is a farm for raising sheep and woolfowl like pals, although you can put others in here as well. So you assign a pal, and what they can do is they can do this thing called grazing. Now, these Vixies in particular will dig things up within the ranches themselves. If we go to the little pal box over here and look at their details, they have an ability called a dig here, which sometimes digs up items from the ground when assigned to the ranch. Now, the items that they're going to be digging up is essentially an infinite supply of these pal spheres. Now, I usually assign 4 to my ranch when I'm trying to farm up pal spheres. This is going to give you an infinite supply of pal spheres, and we're going to need these to be leveling up as fast as possible. So I'm going to grab these 44 that we got there, so that gives me 119 total. I'm probably have another bunch in this box right here. So your pals will actually pick them up from here. If you have any of the transporting pals, let's go back to our pal box here. So we have transporting level 2 on Pen King. We have transporting level 1 here. So basically any pal with transporting, if it doesn't have anything else going on, it's going to automatically pick up your items from the pen and put them in a box. It could be the closest box. It could be a far away box. I'm not quite sure why it's so random with where they put stuff, but I recommend putting a box right next to the entrance of the pen, and you're going to be able to find your pal spheres here if they're not already just laying all over the ground. More often than not, they'll be laying on the ground. These will also pick up arrows and money. So you're going to get money from this, you're going to get arrows, and you're going to get an unlimited amount of pal spheres. You can find Vixies in quite a few different places, but one of my favorite places to farm them up are actually at this small settlement, and there is a fast travel point here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head from the Plateau of Beginning down this road right here. This is actually where I have my first base down here. You can go across here and then make your way up into this little area. It's kind of like a deserty autumn area, and there's a small settlement fast travel point right here. And from this fast travel point, you can actually run up these steps. And once you get to the top of the steps, you're going to start seeing Vixies all over the hills. Now, do keep in mind that when you are hunting things, the pals that you will find in the world do change depending on the time of day. So if you don't see any Vixies around, come back at a different time of day, and you should be able to find them without a problem. This whole mountain area has them pretty much all over the place, so just kind of run through the woods and catch as many of these as you want. I recommend about 4 if you want to have an infinite supply of these pal balls, and you're going to want to catch at least 10 to max out the XP that you're going to get from them anyways. You can see already just going out there and coming back how many of these pal spheres are already here. It's pretty amazing. Now, also one of the reasons that I recommend getting a bunch of them is because you can get better skills. Like this one has a passive skill of Mine Foreman, so this increases your player mining efficiency. There's ones that are basically increases the efficiency at which they work and gather things, so you can get some really good passive skills for your workforce. Now let's get into the process of leveling up quickly. All we really need to do is use all of these pal balls that we're farming up, and we're going to be capturing a bunch of these low-level pals. Now, not only the low-level pals, but pretty much anything you run across is going to get you a lot of XP. Let's capture one of these Cativas here. Come on, get in the ball. I don't want to have to murder your face. And once we capture one, we're going to see we get an XP bonus here on the right. We can capture up to 10 of each of the pals to get this XP bonus, and that's exactly what we're going to do to level up extremely quickly. We're going to run around. I like running around on a ground mount like this dire howl here. You can also get a backshot bonus to increase your chance of your capture rate as well. So you can see here we just caught our 9th one. And we're going to go capture our 10th one up here, getting a ton of XP each time we capture these. Now, this XP does scale up as you level up as well. So at a lower level, you're going to get less XP. At a higher level, you're going to get even more XP. So it scales up with you as you level. Now, I do recommend trying to go for those back shots. You're going to use far less Pal Balls if you do that. Let's capture this bad boy. Now, this is our 10th one, so now we are complete with our XP bonus, and we will no longer get XP bonuses once we capture 10 of a single creature. So, like, if we go up to these chickpeas, I don't want to kill it. We're not going to do the full charge. There we go. Get 100% on here. I think I've captured 10 of these already. Yeah, so we don't get an XP bonus. You only get 11 XP for capturing a pal if you've already caught 10 of them. Now, you can also go to your pal deck, and you can scroll through your pals here, and you can see which ones still have a capture bonus. Like, I can catch 2 more of these lamb balls. You can catch more lift monks, foxbarks, fwacks. All of these, I can go around and catch up to 10 of them, and I'm going to get a massive XP bonus for doing so. So the goal of your playthrough is, while you're going to these new areas, anytime you encounter new pals, you're going to want to try and capture as many of them as possible. Well, at the very least, 10 of them. And this is going to help you level up extremely quickly. Now, you might be inclined to think that the higher level pals are going to net you more XP when you capture them. Unfortunately, this isn't really the case. You still get the same amount of XP bonus, so it's really efficient to farm up these lower level pals, especially earlier in the game, because you're going to be able to get a ton of XP really quick. You won't have to use higher level balls to capture them. And there are so many low-level pals throughout the map that it's really a waste to skip out on farming them up, especially if you're trying to get to a high level quickly. Now, there are plenty of cool and amazing pals throughout the game, but trying to farm up higher-level pals for XP isn't the most efficient way to do it. Now, there is something else really cool that we can do. If we open up our menu and go to the pal deck, I'd say there's about 30 to 40 pals that are in the below level 10 or below level 15 range that are going to be amazing for farming up XP and should be able to get you into max level very quickly. Now, one thing that's amazing with this pal deck is if you click on a pal, you can go to the habitat and you can see where they spawn. Now, some of these regions are going to be lower level regions, like all of these highlighted here, this up here. Pretty much the entirety of this south corner of the map is going to be all low level stuff that you can farm up. And you can see each of the areas where all of these things spawn. And you can go around to each of these and max out your pal decks and get a ton of XP. But not only are we going to be getting XP, you're going to be getting a lot of the items that you need to level up your gear, weapons, base, pretty much everything. So you're not only getting XP, but you're also farming up all the other items that you're going to need throughout your playthrough anyways. So it really is worthwhile to catch at least 10 of each of these creatures, because you're going to need all of their items anyways. So you're kind of just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The only unfortunate thing about these Vixies is they do only farm up the low-level pal spheres, but if you're doing it this way with the low-level pals anyways, you don't really need the higher-level stuff, and you can save all of your high-level spheres for more difficult pals. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I do have another video on all of the best pals you should get at the beginning of the game. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link in the description as well as it's on screen right now.